Okay, this is going to be day 4 of unit 3 in Algebra 1. What I want to talk about last class, we talked about finding slope with 2 points, finding the slope off a graph. Today I want to find the slope, all right? And we're going to look at the equation, all right? So I'm going to give you a bunch here. Okay, all right, so you can actually look at the equation of the line, okay, and determine the slope, okay? Now, a couple things. Y equals mx plus b, y equals b plus mx. Let me explain what that means. If you have a y equals, okay, if you have a y equals and the x on the other side, whatever number is in front of x, that is considered the slope, okay? So if it's in y equals, okay, all right, and the x is on the other side, we're going to talk about if there's only one letter in a little bit. The number in front of x is the slope. So for this one, y equals, okay, the slope here would be 8. This one, y equals, the number in front of x is -1/2. Now when I get to this one, I got to be careful. It's y equals the x. This is where the x would be. So that would be -10 for the slope. Y equals, this is the 5/2 here. Okay? All right? So it's got to have y equals, then x. Okay? Now this one, somebody say, Mr. Evans, I see the y equals an x, but there's no number in front. Well, what number is in front? A 1. Okay? Same thing here. What's the number in front of x here? That would be a -1. Okay? Now, these last two are a little bit different. You see that this only has an x in my base, it's called slope-intercept form, has a y and an x. These are special. Okay? I would like you to write this down. Hoi. Okay? Let me get better spacing here. Okay? Hoi and Vux. Okay? All right, these are acronyms for these special types. When you have just an x equals, okay, what you're going to have, the V stands for vertical, and the U stands for undefined. Okay? So my slope here is undefined. Okay? All right? Hoi, that's for the y equals. As you see on number 8, this is just y equals, okay, but no x. This is hoi. So y equals, that stands for horizontal line. And that O means 0 slope. So my slope here for the y equals 2 line will be 0. And that's something you have to know. Okay? So what I want you to do, go ahead and pause the video. And find the slope here. Okay, go ahead and find the slopes of those. Okay, go ahead and unpause your video. Okay, number in front of x here is 3/4. Number in front of x here is -9. Okay, so I got a y and an x. Number in front of x is -5. Got a y and an x. Number in front of that is 2/3. Okay, over here, I'm going to put a -1 there. That's the number attached to x, so the slope would be -1. There's a 1 here. That's going to be a +1. Okay? All right, now, these are the special ones because I only have a y. Well, which one's that? Is that the Hoy or is that the Vux? Well, I got the y equals. It's got to be that. So that stands for horizontal, 0 slope. Okay, this is the x equals. So this is the Vux. That stands for vertical, undefined slope. Okay? All right? So, now, not all equations will be in y equals. Okay? Let's do a couple. I'm going to put a couple up here up on the board. Okay, it says find the slope. Okay? Now, someone would say, Mr. Evans, we just picked the number that's in front of x, right? No. The first thing you got to do, get it in y equals. Okay? You got to do that first. Now, the great part is that's what we did last unit. So basically what it means is get it in y equals or solve for y. Okay? So this is the attached, this is the separated, okay? I got to move the separated by subtracting. Okay, that's 8y equals 40 minus 2x. And then I divide, because that's the attached, everything by 8. Okay? So 40 divided by 8 is 5. Be very careful. -2 divided by 8. All right, I'm dealing with fractions, so I would hit the fraction of decimal, -1/4 x. Okay, so now I got this in y equals. What is the slope? The slope here is -1/4, because that is what's attached to x. Okay, so this is the attached, separated. So I'd subtract 15x, subtract 15x. I got -3y equals 45 minus 15x. Okay, because this is the attached. I'm going to divide everything by -3. Really watch your signs here. 45 divided by -3 is -15. -15 divided by -3, positive 5x. Okay, make sure, start with an x and y, finish with an x and y. All right, so what I got here is my slope is the number in front of x would just be 5, okay? So this one is the attached, this one is the separated, subtract 25x, subtract 25x. I got 5y equals 60 minus 25x, okay? And now I'm going to divide everything by 5. Y equals 60 divided by 5 is 12. -25 divided by 5. -25 divided by 5 is -5. Okay? So my slope is the number in front of x, which would be -5. Okay? So what I would like you guys to do, okay, is go ahead and find the slope. Okay? And here's the questions I'd like you to do. Whew. go ahead and pause your video, and you can go ahead and work on that question. Okay, go ahead and unpause. So in order to find the slope, I got to get it in y equals first. So this is the attached, this is the separated. I would subtract 14x. Remember, I cannot combine these. I bring down the whole thing, negative 2y. Then I'm going to divide every part by negative 2. Okay, let's use our calculator. 8 divided by negative 2 is negative 4. Okay, negative 14 divided by negative 2, positive 7, and an x. Okay, all right, number 5, this is the attached, this is the separated. I would subtract 18x. So I got 36y, 72 minus 18x, divide each part by 36. Okay, oh, back here my slope was 7, okay? All right, so I'm going to do 72 divided by 36 is 2, negative 18 divided by 36 is negative 1/2. I want to get a fraction, okay? So my slope here is going to be negative 1/2. Remember, it's the number in front of x, okay? Last one here, this is the attached, separated, subtract 24x, subtract 24x. I got 8y, 88 minus 24x, and then I divide everything by 8. 88 divided by 8 is 11. Negative 24 divided by 8 is negative 3 with the x. Remember, if you start with an x and y, you got to finish with an x and y. So my slope here is negative 3. Okay? So that is finding slope given the equation. So some of them are in y equals mx plus b form. Some of them are in the Hoy-Vux form. And some of them you got to get in y equals form.